It's February 6, 2020, 1:36 p.m. This is episode 784. I was going to do this one late in the afternoon, early evening, and go ahead and post it and do something different this morning that I have in my head. That now I think I'm going to push back again. But I had a gyro around 6 and about 7. I just like, I lay down at 7, woke up at 10. So then I was up all night. And so I drew this cartoon then. I did start it pretty early though. I started around 10 p.m. last night, but I didn't post it till 8 this morning. Yesterday's cartoon, not the Iowa one, the one before that with the Shredders, that cartoon got nearly 1,000 shares just from my Facebook alone. Today, this cartoon, even though I posted about the same time, it's got like 40. So, and I don't think it's that bad. I think my Iowa cartoon got more than that, and I don't like my Iowa cartoon that much. Mitt Romney, you can say what you will about the guy throughout his history, his policies, being out of touch with the majority of America, just really wanting to represent the 47%. But yesterday, he stood up. I think he could have done it earlier. Maybe he would have taken a few more Republicans with him. But and a lot of people say, no, he's not being brave. He's not being virtuous. You know, he has like 4.5 more years in his seat before he has a re-election. But I do think it's brave because he's going to be ostracized. He's going to be punished throughout the party for a while. But I do think he's going to go down in history as one of the brave ones who did stand up. He'll be up there with Margaret Chase Smith. And if you don't know who she is, look her up. Yeah, I commend Mitt. Some people still try to shit on him yesterday, like on my comments on Facebook, but I was telling him, I don't want to hear any of it, not today. I mean, I've drawn a lot of cartoons criticizing the guy. There's a lot of areas to criticize him, but yesterday he did stand up, and everything that he said in his speech was correct. He shot down Trump's legal defense team. And he shot down the conspiracy theories about the Bidens. And he shot down the argument about we should let the people decide. He totally shot that down by saying the Constitution gave the United States Senate the obligation to rule on this. They get impeachment, you're not supposed to roll it off. You're supposed to rule on it. And half the Republican argument was we shouldn't make a ruling on it because there's an election coming up. We only have 2 shout-outs. Ariel said hi. Hi, Ariel. Thanks for leaving a comment anyway. I really do appreciate it. That's not sarcasm, I really do. Ariel Coutinho said the last cartoon on Iowa is pretty clever. It took me a while to understand it, the Iowa on the sleeve. I almost forgot to put the Iowa on the guy. I'm glad I did, because that would have really ruined it. Yeah, that's the kind of cartoon that I'm not that really fond of, and I don't think it's really that great, but I think it's good. And I think, and also being like a day later with it than I planned to, it kind of assured that nobody else was doing the same thing. Because a lot of people did the same Nancy Pelosi cartoon I did, the ripping thing in the Constitution. After I did it, I was like, well, okay. Alright, maybe kind of obvious. People still liked it though. But with the Iowa one, nobody else did it. And I thought somebody might. But I think the older that I get, the more that I do this, it seems like fewer and fewer cartoonists actually go back to history. Like, there might be fewer of us who took history or understand it. Or maybe we all know history, but maybe we don't want to use it as much because our audience doesn't. And that makes me kind of sad. I remember when I was a kid, it seemed like I was the only one who was interested in history. I was the only kid who liked history class. And then that was the only class I really liked. or that I consistently liked. You know, other classes, you know, like come and go if I liked them or not, like science. One year I like it, one year I hate it. But I always loved history class. My only problems with some of my history classes was that my teachers might be too slow. That I was faster than they were. And not because I'm super smart, because I sucked at math and I wasn't good at science. And I sucked at a lot of other stuff. But when it came to history, I was on my game, you know. And now maybe people don't. Well, people have never really followed history that well, but it seems like people don't know their history. They really, really suck at it. And you look at Republicans, they don't remember history from 3 years ago. Or hell, last week. All right. Thank you for hearing me rant again. Click the red button and you can subscribe and hear me rant every day. I think I need to rant more, actually, in these videos. And also talk about how I make the cartoons. People keep telling me that and I keep forgetting. And maybe because that's not interesting to me. See you guys. Bye. Bye.